everyone. Before I start this video, I want to give a big thank you to everyone who takes the time out of their schedule to watch my videos. I deeply appreciate it. I know it's not edited to perfection, and you guys might see me stumble on my words or repeat things or go through long pauses, but that's me, and that's who I want you guys to see, is the real me and who I am with my personality or how I speak. And I'm the type that I have sometimes so much to say that I can't even comprehend it to come out clearly or how I'm actually thinking it. So sometimes I do have to repeat things or come back to it later. So I just want to say thank you guys again. I hope you enjoy this video. And I'm going to talk about them in there and you guys will see. But I'm wearing their shirt and I want you to go check them out. Rose and Rosie. Great, lovely ladies. They're expecting their first child. Can't wait. Go check them out. Links in the description below to see them. Enjoy, guys. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a minute, second, an hour, who knows, a day, a week. But anyways, thank you for coming back and checking my channel out. I first want to say thank you to everyone who watched my mental health video and who reached out with a message. Thank you guys so much. I deeply appreciate it and I love you all. It means a lot to me. And by the title of this video, you can see what I'm going to talk about, which is obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, which is something I have struggled with since I was a kid. But also being a kid, you did not know what it was and you just thought it was something you did. But in growing up and learning about it, you realize it's not normal. You learn to deal with it, you make it part of your life, and you can also find that sometimes it is very helpful when it does hit. So for me with my OCD, I would say it was worse when I was a kid. I found myself very in my head repeating things constantly, and it was always up to 4 times, I'd say. Whatever I did, it had to be at least 4 times, nothing less, sometimes a little bit more, but 4 was the stop. So no matter if I counted corners of something, it was always 4 corners. Checking on something multiple times, it was always at least 4 times. And then I just remembered someone telling me that if I didn't get out of these habits, it could become even worse. So I don't know how I did it. I just cut a lot of it out. I guess I kept myself busy. But now to these days, it's not as bad. I still do some stuff, and I'll show you guys in some clips of how, for example, a lot of my stuff in my room is not straight. I have to have everything on an angle, and it has to be spaced out. Nothing can be touching each other or even close to the edge because I have this fear if it's going to fall, it's going to break. I'm very organized and well routine that I keep my stuff very organized and well maintained. So even if a little scratch, I don't like it. I get very upset. I need a whole brand new one. So for me also, I started to learn last year how my OCD can become heightened and even worse in situations and I can't control it. And speaking to a therapist again was very helpful in understanding myself and why it was worse more times than others when I didn't understand at first. So for example, I found my OCD from being at home. It's well maintained at home. I find if I'm very relaxed and calm, it doesn't bother me. I might do it a few times, but it's in that controllable state. If I'm in a high anxious or an anxiety state, my OCD comes highly into play. So as I learned, that is my safeguard. My OCD comes out in my safety and something to help me relax my anxious and my anxiety. So for example, if I walk into a place that is not organized or all cluttered, and I walk into that place where I'm already in this anxiety and I'm not feeling myself, I have to clean it. My OCD hits and I have to clean it. I have to organize to where I feel calm, because one, it will make me relax. It takes my mind away what caused the anxiety or the anxiousness. And after it's done, I feel like I can just breathe. And if I don't do it, if I try to ignore those, my OCD will become worse and even my anxiety will turn into a panic attack, and that will go on for hours. I have had one night where I did not sleep at all. I was having panic attacks as soon as I fell asleep, and I would wake up trying to breathe. To the point it was very scary because I was not comprehending what was going on. All I knew is I wasn't myself. I knew I was having anxiety. I knew a panic attack was happening, but I didn't understand the mentality of why my OCD was so high level at that time at night, because I never experienced it before. So learning about myself and giving me this time to heal, I've learned how my OCD has been on and off. I can control it, but I can't control it. And that's okay. Like I said in my mental health video, everything is a learning in progress for ourselves, and we become stronger off it. Now, some people with OCD, they have to clean and vacuum every single day. I can get away with that. Mine, I don't mind. If I see dust in my room, I will leave it until I'm ready to clean it. But if I go somewhere and I'm in high anxiety already and I walk into where I see dust or anything on the floor, I need to clean. So that's where it shows where if I'm okay and relaxed, it doesn't bother me. I can pass and look at it and just, oh, I'll do it later. But when I'm in a state of my mental health and I see it, I can't wait till later. And if I do wait till later, it gets even worse. So now I'm just going to show you guys some stuff that I do. And then there's probably a lot more, but from what I remember as a child and some stuff I still do, I'll show you guys. And you guys will see in the pattern of how a lot of 4s. Everything I did had to be 4. To this day, I don't know why. Don't know, but I go with it. And then I just try to lessen it. If I feel like it's getting to worse, if it's too much, I've learned how to know what's triggering it and what to do. So if you guys have OCD, let me know what your triggers are, what you guys do that's compulsive, and how you feel about it. Because I know for me, sometimes it can be very draining when you have to walk back somewhere 4 times to keep counting something when you know in your real mentality of, it's all shut off. It's all closed. You checked the first time, plus the second, and you've gone back for third and fourth, but you can't help it. It's the neurological stuff in your brain that's just making you repeat things. It could also maybe be triggered from PTSD and other stuff. And there's all certain types of OCD, and if you guys go learn more about it, you'll open it up, and you'll learn more about it. And I'm still learning about my OCD even more. Again, this is just me ranting. I'm not going to edit much of it because when I decide to make videos that are mental health related or anything that could help others, I want others to see the real thing. I don't want to skip parts to where it could be something important that might help someone else, even though it might not relate to you. It could be a big thing for someone and might click a light, and it might bring a big positivity in their life. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you some examples of my OCD and some of the things I go through and that are normal for me, but I know that is not normal. So hopefully the video can catch it, but for one example, on one of my dressers here, it's kind of hard to tell, but everything I have on here is on an angle. Very, not straight, except the laptop. Angled, angled, and even just spacely out. If anything is hanging off the edge here, unacceptable. I have to change it or it's going to mess with me and I'm going to stare at it until I fix it. And another thing I go through, same thing with the edges on my nightstand, same thing. Nothing can be coming off the edge. If so, it will bother me until I fix it. Another thing I used to do this one really bad as a kid. I used to count the 4 edges. So I'd count 1, 2, 3, 4. And then obviously the light would be closed, but I ought to keep it on so you guys can see. I would walk away, down halfway in my hall, come back, do it again, count the edges, 1, 2, 3, 4. With my eyes, zoom down, make sure it's closed. I would do that constantly until my mind was settled. I even did it with my clock. I don't know if it's the same. Same thing. I don't know if you guys can see here the lines. I used to walk away, come back, make sure nothing was on the edge of my dresser or night table. Count the lines, walk away, come back, do it again. I always found number 4 was a magic number for me. Don't know why, 4 times, and then I was fine. Another thing I used to do is I would have, if my door was closed, exactly just like the light, I counted the 4 corners of my door, laying from my bed, made sure the door was closed. I would look right up here to make sure it was closed, and then I counted 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, with the magic 4, don't know. Doing that constantly, about 4 or 5 times until I was content. Go on with my night. These two lovely ladies, Rose and Rosie, they're a lovely married couple expecting their first child in June, I believe, so that's very exciting. They were very helpful for me in my mental health, and just when I was struggling, I found just listening to their videos and watching them and how real and genuine they are with people, you could just relate to them. And then even one of the books that they wrote, which I have bought and read a few times, just them expressing their mental health and coming out with their struggles. And if you relate, it just makes that book even 10 times more fantastic, because you just feel like you're reading about yourself and you can relate and just, you get this different feeling. So I'm going to leave their links in the description below. I highly suggest you go check them out. They were lovely girls, and just to even get to know them through the videos, because they're very real. Alright guys, I'm going to bring you downstairs just so I can put on a pair of my shoes. And I'm going to show you something I used to do as a kid. And I know it made people very annoying, especially if they were walking with me, because they just had to constantly keep stopping so I wouldn't get lost. Because I would do it anywhere. I didn't care where I was. I had to stop, or again, I would go crazy. So I'm going to put on a pair of my shoes. Alright, I'm going to try to put on my shoes one-handed, which should be alright. I usually leave my shoes always tied, just easy to get on. So one thing I used to do is I used to just walk. I would stop in the middle of nowhere. Hopefully you guys can see this. I had to put my feet together like this. They had to be lined. And then in my head, I'd make sure they were crisscrossed, like I was tying them again. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd go for a walk a bit. Stop dead center again. I didn't care who was around me. Do the exact same thing. Constant. I don't know how I broke out of that, but I did. Thankfully, because being a 33-year-old and probably still doing that wouldn't be the best for me. Alright, I'll show you another one that I can remember. This one I still do, but it's not as bad. I'll grab a plate here and show you guys. Alright, so here's a plate. Use your imagination with food. So if I had at least, let's say, 3 pieces of food on here, so like meat, rice, and potatoes. My meat would have to be down here, my rice up here, potatoes to the left. They could not be touching. If they did, I was not happy. And something I do till this day, for some reason my ketchup has to always be on the right. If it's not and I can't make it on the right, I will either move stuff around, turn the plate around, do anything to where the ketchup ends on the right, around my meat to where it's close enough to hit. That's all I can think of for now. There is probably a lot more, but I don't remember. There's my puzzle I'm doing. Going pretty well. We're almost done. Not sure what I'm going to do after this puzzle. Keeps me very focused. I love it. Alright. Now, from showing you guys from my other dressers how I have nothing straight, here's my other one. Exactly same thing. Everything pretty much is on an angle. This might be hard to tell, but it's on an angle. And same thing, nothing is close to the edge, because if it's on the edge, I can't settle. I will freak out, and I gotta fix everything, or I am going to stare at it for hours. Alright guys, I'm going to show you something. I have no idea if this is just me being very routine based or part of my O.C.D. But I'm going to show you because I do this every night. And if I don't do it usually by a specific time, I start to get anxious. But every night how I pull my bed apart just to get ready to know it's for when I go to bed later. So every night, I always do it step by step. I don't do anything different. It's always the exact same way. So first I got to pull out my bed here a bit so I can move the blankets. First part to go is my body pillow, and then I take off this blanket and I fold it. I throw it to where my body pillow is, and then I always have to pull my sheets over in like a triangular way where it's diagonal, and then I pull my bed back, and then I just lift, and then I have my converters here for later. Again, not too sure if that's a routine or if it's just a compulsive disorder, knowing that if I don't do it, I panic, I don't feel organized or relaxed. So yeah, I've learned about how when you're anxious and anxiety is going, how it can really contribute to your OCD. And it made me really learn, and I couldn't understand why my disorder was so worse somewhere else than in other places. Because I could come home and, like I said, I can leave dust here, no problem. But then when I was at this other place, it was constant, like I just wanted to clean. That's all I wanted to do. I couldn't settle. And when I finally was able to heal myself and open up my mind into pretty much the real world and see everything and replay it, it all made sense. I was always highly anxious. I was high anxiety, and I wasn't even there yet. I would just be going. Just questioning, like, what am I going to go into? What's it going to be like? And all I could it was all brain fog. Like, nothing, that's all I could think of is my eyes were always looking somewhere to clean or just organize. And it's just crazy how OCD works and how it can affect you in different ways or be worse in other places than not or other times. And I said this in my vlog the last week of how I was against going through therapy. I didn't want to talk to a therapist years ago and stuff, 'cause to me it's just, how are they going to help you? But they help you. Don't be scared to talk to one. They make you see things a lot clearer and understanding. Even if you've heard what they said before, I don't know if it's because you don't know them so you're listening more, but it makes sense. And then when you see it again in your head, you're like a light bulb. And you're like, holy, that's so true, that was me. It's just crazy. I can't, that's why I keep pausing, because I'm still comprehending in my brain. I'm learning every single day. And that's going to be our lives. Every single day we're going to learn something new, bad or good. Another thing is, when it comes to relationships, you have to be strong enough to tell your partner right away that you have OCD or anxiety or anxiousness, because you can't hide it. It's gonna come out. It's something it's gonna be seen. It might not start in the beginning, but it's gonna come out eventually. And it's up to your partner then if it's something they can handle and will work with you, or if they need to walk away because they know they can't. Now the person that struggles has to be prepared for that too and understand if that person can't handle it and they need to move on, you have to move on too, and knowing you will find someone that can. Because it can be difficult. Someone with OCD, they need to go through these routines and these patterns to feel comfortable and to get through their day. And if you call them out or arguing with them or being negative about it because of their disorder that they have to handle, it's going to be toxic. It's not going to help the relationship, and it's just going to be arguments and put that person down. We're just going to think something's wrong with us because we have these things we have to do more than once to make us feel comfortable and complete. So again, please don't be scared. Don't hide these problems. They are part of us. They make us who we are, and that's okay. Be free to speak about it. Come out. Talk to anyone. And like I said, if we all talk and come out, we can learn strategies from each other and grow more into a person and be stronger than ever. And like I said, our life is a chapter. It's a puzzle. Alright guys, so thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to get back to this puzzle because I realized how deeply focused I get into this puzzle. And I can't talk and do it at the same time. So guys, I hope you have a great one. Thank you for watching my videos again, and love you all. Talk to you guys soon.